Hello and thank you for joining me again for today's lesson. Today we're going to talk about muscles that move the arm, the upper arm, the humerus specifically. And so at the end of this video, I want you to be able to identify the muscles associated with movement of the humerus and explain the importance of the rotator cuff along with recognizing the muscles that comprise it and make it up. So for starters, muscles that move the arm. First we have your coracobrachialis. So if we look at this, coraco refers to the coracoid process. Brachialis refers to the brachium or the humerus. So it originates the coracoid process, inserts on the shaft of the humerus. When it does so, the only thing it can do is flex and adduct the arm. So it can bring it up, raise it, and flex it, or it can adduct it, pull it closer to the midline. Your pectoralis major. This is what people think of when they think of pec muscles. They originate at your clavicle, your sternum, and your costal cartilage of your upper ribs. Inserts along your humerus. So if everything is originating on the medial portion of your body, the only thing it can do when they contract is to flex, adduct, and rotate the arm medially. So flex being to raise, adduct being to pull towards the middle, and rotate medially, take your thumb from pointed outwards to pointed inwards is all the function of your pectoralis major. Your latissimus dorsi, your lats. They originate at your spine. So along your spine, you have your lat muscles. They originate your spine, your iliac crest, and your lower ribs. So spine, iliac crest, lower ribs, all lower portions of your back region. They insert along the humerus. Their function is to extend, which is to pull backwards, adduct, pull towards the midline, and pull shoulder downward and backwards. So everything going backwards with your lats. And then we have your deltoid. Your deltoid muscle originates at your acromion process, which is found on your scapula. Also originates at the spine of the scapula and the clavicle. So everything is kind of on your shoulder, the upper portion of your shoulder. Inserts along the deltoid tuberosity of the humerus. Functions to abduct, extend, and flex the arm, depending on which portion of the deltoid muscle is contracting. Can do all three. So if we look at these, your pectoralis minor, your brachialis, and your coracobrachialis. So this one we're looking at the coracobrachialis, which originates here, the coracoid process. Inserts along your humerus here. So when it contracts, it's going to pull this direction, which is up and in. So it can raise, which is flex, and it can adduct, pull towards the middle. If we look at this big muscle, this is your pectoralis major. So again, everything is originating here. So when it contracts, the only thing it can do, these fibers up here contract, it can pull upwards a little bit. So it can raise your arm slightly, but then its main function is to pull your arm across your chest, which is called transverse adduction, is your pectoralis major. Your latissimus dorsi, again, starts in your thoracic spine and goes all the way down to your sacrum along your iliac crest. Originates at the humerus up here, or inserts at the humerus up here, I apologize. So when these fibers contract, they're going to pull backwards. So this is where it extends. So instead of flexing, this is extension, pulling backwards. It also adducts, which means pulls towards the midline. And lowers the arm. So this is all your lat muscles. So if you do lat pull downs, you're pulling your arms from up here to down here. And that's what this muscle is doing for you. And this is your deltoid muscle. So when it's on the curve of the shoulder. So if you look at this, if these muscle fibers contract, the only thing they can do is shorten, which pulls this way. As your muscles pull this way, your arm is going to raise. So this is abduction here. All right, your shoulder is surrounded by or encased by your rotator cuff. There are four muscles that make up your rotator cuff. They are the supraspinatus, the subscapularis, the infraspinatus, and the teres minor. I don't care that you know all of these individually, but your rotator cuff as a whole abducts the arm, allows it to be raised, rotates it medially, and rotates it laterally, and rotates it laterally. So it can rotate it either direction and allows it to be raised. depending on which of these fibers is contracting at the time. Here's a picture. So again, if your teres minor and your infraspinatus contract, it's going to rotate it laterally, rotate it out this way. Your subscapularis is going to rotate it medially, and your supraspinatus is going to raise it up here. So those are the functions. I don't necessarily care that you know which one specifically does which function. But as a whole, that's what your rotator cuff can do for you. Here are some review questions. So what is the function of the pectoralis major? What muscles allow you to abduct your arm laterally at the shoulder? And what muscle functions to abduct the arm in general? So there's your review questions. Answer those. If you have questions, please come see me. We'll talk through it. We'll do some reviewing when you come back, and then we'll continue on through the rest of your body. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.